Hey everybody, it's Christine and I am up with Bella Boulevard today, and I am going to be making another envelope mini album. As you can tell if you watch this channel regularly, I'm kind of hooked. And the difference in today's is that I'm going to take it to an even bigger level with my embellishing. So what you see I'm starting off with is just a set of envelopes that I had 10 of in my stash. In the previous ones that I've made, I had a triangle top, and this one has more of a rectangle flap. That's okay. I'm going to work with it. I would have preferred that, but I also was trying to be smart about it and use what's in my stash and not waste time running to the store to try and find a specific kind of envelope. So that said, it's also a bigger envelope than I have used previously. These ones are, I think, about 6 by 8. So they are larger and definitely going to give me a larger canvas to decorate on. Now, as you're watching, you can see that I am just lining up one envelope on top of the other, putting some adhesive on the outside flap, and then setting the next one on top of it in the exact same position, building a stack of envelopes. And what that's going to do is create my pages. The next thing I'm going to do is create my cover. Now, I didn't have any more chipboard. Actually, I had chipboard, but not the right size. So again, keeping with that theme, I wanted to use what I had on hand. So I had a package, a priority mail box that was old. So I just cut that up and made it big enough to be a cover. And then I'm going to add some cover pages to that. I am using the Dad Style collection from Bella Boulevard, and I'm going to be using that throughout this book. Now, I'm going to cover both the back and the front of this, and you can see I'm using some sandpaper right now to do two things. Number one, to even out any ragged edges that I have, and second of all, to distress the whole thing, because why not? It's a dad thing, it's a dad style, nice and rugged, gives it that look. So I'm just using regular old sandpaper squares to do that. Now I'm going to cover the other side of it, so the inside cover, with some pretty yellow cardstock, and maybe pretty's not quite the right word, some tough, handsome yellow cardstock. You can see I'm adding adhesive using my Easy Runner Grand. I'm not going all over the place on the cover, just getting the boundaries and then a little bit in the middle, and I'm just using my scissors to trim it right on up. The colors in this collection are pretty different for Bella Boulevard. They are very masculine. I'm going to add my don't have pages that in now simply by gluing down on the front side a so you might not even recognize this as necessarily envelope. And then on the back side, I'm just going to glue the flap. And so that's going to come together, brighter elements to each side. And then I'm also going to add my binding. Now, my binding is just a strip of paper with a lot of tape on it. It's just a little more subdued. I want you to keep in mind as you do this that you may want to make one part of your binding just a great a non-permanent adhesive to begin with, a repositionable one. Now you can see I am, if your book gets real thick, you may want to adjust your binding because all your pages can get a little rough things up. So that is something I definitely recommend. I adjusted the binding on mine multiple times as I was making this, just to make sure in the end that it laid how I wanted it to. As you can see, I opted for that same yellow to be my binding. And you know, this, I'm going to decorate the whole cover. I'm going to add lots to it, but this is just the basic beginning to the design. You've got that pretty brown paint splattered paper for the cover, and that yellow, and those two colors together just look so nice and so rich. Next, to bring some more color in, I'm going to go ahead and add a border strip on there, and this is just a nice striped one. Because my book is so tall, I don't have it for the front and back. That's fine. I don't really need the back to be decorated, so I'm okay with just putting it there on the front. As a real quick note, if you can hear rain in the background, it's because it's pouring, and I can hear it everywhere I go in my house right now, so I apologize if you can hear that background noise. Carrying on with the video, I have added on a border sticker there that you can see, and doesn't that add a nice touch to it? Just brings in an additional layer to the whole thing. Now I'm going to begin to create my pages, and unlike in the previous albums that I've done, I'm actually going to cover everything with patterned paper. So I'm going to just trim down a whole bunch of papers right now to the right size. On the left hand side of each of my spreads, I'm going to have a patterned paper from the Dad Style collection. On the right hand side, I'm going to use some craft paper. I am not going to make you sit through me cutting all of these, nor am I going to make you sit through me gluing them all on there. So we're going to skip on through to that and go on to some more interesting stuff than that. One of the things I did do as I adhered my pattern paper was I left the furthest to the right hand side of the pattern paper without adhesive on it, because that is where the envelope pocket is. I want my kids to be able to write some notes and stick them in there for their dad. And so that part, you can actually stick your hand inside of it. I also, on my very first cut things too short. And so you can see it on those pages. I'm just shy of being long enough to cover all the white. So what I decided to do was just roll with it and create some border strips to go there along the bottom, which actually added a great deal of interest to each page without me having to do a lot of work for that. So that worked out all right. Those mistakes, that's part of scrapbooking, right? You fix those things and make them work. So this paper here that you're seeing is actually from their mom collection. I needed one more that would coordinate well, and that's one of the things I just love about Bella Boulevard. Their collections all coordinate so nicely. Even if they don't necessarily go together, there's still pieces you can pull. Like you could pull from 5 different collections and make the colors all coordinate and make it work together. And that's the beauty of their brand. They just do a seamless job with that stuff. Now we're going to switch, and you're going to see a giant mess on my desk because I am working on the cover. And so I had a lot of ideas for this cover. Ultimately, I decided to keep it pretty simple. I added on the word dad there that I just cut out on my silhouette. And then I'm going to add on awesome. And I'm just using some adhesive dots from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L to put that on there because it is an acrylic word. Those dots work fantastic for holding it on there. And we'll put it on there nice and strong. It's not coming off once it's on there well. And you can see they go on, just they're really easy to get into each of the little corners. And I'm going to place it there so that it lines up with the stripes. Finally, I'm going to show you my last step, but this is also giving you a chance to see all the details that I have added in. So you can see I've got the craft background. You can see that I've added in cut apart cards to the left-hand side of each spread. You can see I've added my pictures and my stickers, and I'm finally adding in some tabbies. And what I did is I just went through an old pack of Bella Boulevard tabbies and pulled them out and in the ones that would coordinate with the colors, and I'm just adding those in. Would have been smart to add them in earlier, but nonetheless I made it work with what I had, and I love the added touch that this gave to the whole album. What I love about this album is I made it for my husband, and it just has the feel of love to it. It's got a bunch of pictures of my kids and their dad, and it's just, I put a lot of heart into it. My kids helped me put it together. It's going to have letters in there to him, and it'll just be a really special Father's Day gift for him. Somehow I managed to make it all the way through making it without him even knowing about it. So there you have it, my Bella Boulevard Dad Style envelope album. If you want to see more about the details of putting it together, go back to the last couple videos that I've shared. I've got several of these albums because I kind of love doing them. And thank you so much for joining me today, and we will see you again next time. Just kidding, I am back, and I just want to say real quick, I am going to do just a flip through video of this whole album so that you can get a good look at the details of it. So you can check for that also here on this channel. In fact, I will link this video right to it at the end so you can click right on it. But I'm realizing you don't get a great view because my hands are kind of in the way. So I'm going to do that, and be sure to check that out as well. Thanks, guys.